everybody, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I'm here to share with you guys the 7th in my acrylic flow art series, and I am so thrilled with how this one came out. I decided to try one more time another bottle bottom pour, and this time I only used one bottle bottom. If you're interested in the prior one, please check out my prior video. And first off, I'm showing you guys the dirty pour cup that I'm preparing. And I wanted to keep this kind of all in the blue, kind of blue-green family. So I used the paints that I had in my stash. That is one of my favorites. That's a Artist Loft Metallic Cobalt Blue. This blue-gray, it's very dark, is actually a mixture of a whole bunch of overflow paints from prior pours. That light blue is a Deco Art Americana Bluegrass Green, this one here, and then that light one that you just saw was a Bahama Blue Shoreline. And you can see already kind of cell formation happening in the dirty pour cup. I'm just alternating back and forth between these colors because I want the dirty pour cup to have all these colors, not just once, but two or three times, whatever the amount of paint that I have, however much I can kind of mix through in different sequence. But the different colors have different weights, so they sink to the bottom or rise above more than you'd think, actually. Just putting them all together into this dirty pour cup creates a pretty good mixture, and for whatever reason it doesn't just turn into mud unless you actively stir it. That's the last of that metallic cobalt blue that is my favorite. I think in the future I might do a pour that just has that, maybe in black and white. It's so dramatic. Now this is the canvas already prepped. I have gesso in the middle section and then black gesso on the upper left and lower right corners. I started with a little white, then I'm starting to pour from that dirty pour cup. That was the metallic blue, cobalt blue. I wanted a little more white. And if you didn't see my prior video, you might not know this, but I cut little triangle slits at the base of the soda bottle bottom. So it's actually pushing some of the paint underneath that soda bottle bottom as well. So I think that white went toward the center. And as I pour more and more of this dirty pour paint, it's shifting from color to color based on the weights of each of these paint colors. So it looked like the cobalt blue went out first, then kind of a little bit of that bluegrass green. Now you're getting to the Bahama Blue Shoreline, and there's kind of this minty color that's coming out. And along the edges, you see where the valleys form the outside edges of the petals. I think that's more of that gray. And I just want to make sure I'm getting every last bit of this paint because I want to make sure that this pour can stretch and reach all the way to the lower left and upper right corners of this canvas. I don't mind the black being left. I intentionally put that there, but here's me lifting that bottle bottom off of that canvas, and you can see where that white poured back into the middle toward the center of the area underneath the bottle bottom. And now I'm kind of tipping and tilting the canvas in a counterclockwise motion. I'm trying to keep kind of those petal formations, the general shape of this pour that's created from using those channels at the bottom of the soda bottle. And now I'm turning and tilting in a clockwise direction. I want to make sure that it reaches all the way to the edges off the canvas. You can see it dripping off there. It's really important to have enough space and put a tarp down underneath when you're doing pours like this. A lot of the paint runs off of the canvas. But you can see that the paint is stretching. I love that cell formation. That's so cool. And that comes from the Floetrol that I added as well as the silicone. This is so much fun to do. I love how kind of the paint flows and creates these cells. It looks so dramatic up close and personal. I hope you can get a sense of it from the video. And you can see the black areas in the lower right and the upper left. And I'm just trying to make sure that I get all the way to the tippy tip corners on the lower left and the upper right as well, because I don't want the white of the canvas to show. And lastly, I'm going to use a hair dryer again. I really like how that forced air from the hair dryer kind of takes away that hard edge where the greens meet up against the black. I want more of an organic look, and just by pushing the paint out toward the black area, it kind of creates a wispy, tendrily look. It's hard to tell from this angle in that upper left corner, but you'll be able to see it better when I go shift to the lower right corner of the canvas. But I really like kind of having a more variegated edge here. Oh, you can see there, it really pushed out the paint quite a bit. It does kind of ruin the cells right at the edge there. You can see it's just a little gray, but I really think it's worth it to get those wispy, tendrily looks on the edge there where the green meets the black. And it really gives a beautiful organic look. Well, that's it for this canvas. I hope you enjoyed this process video. I had so much fun creating this canvas. If you would like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful crafty day. Thanks so much for joining me.